Testing, testing, testing. Okay, good evening, student. So here is the lessons for tonight, and you can log on to Blackboard and see the course notes. And let's take a look at the course materials for tonight. And okay, let me see this one. So we have already completed this one, okay, and we did the calculation last time, and you can find the answer from the tutorial folder, okay. So I'm for sure that I have put uh, the answer for the exercise over there, okay. So you can check the calculation, okay, how to do the calculation for the exercise. Okay, here comes the lesson 6. Okay, so you can also download this one, and okay, so you can download this first. Okay, let's get started. So in this chapter, we're going to have a look at new topics. And the new topic is about sound. Went we have gone through the text and image multimedia content, and now we have a look at the um, sound content. Okay, so sometimes it seems that we always relies on our vision, and the visual effect play a really, really important role in multimedia content. But to be honest, a successful multimedia content is a good mix of all the contents together nowadays. So therefore, when you plan for your multimedia project content, especially when you do the group project for this subject, you have to think carefully how to incorporate different elements so that um, the overall effect, okay, or the influence would be the best, you know. So here comes the lessons that we are going to talk about, okay, the song. And again, we'll have a look at the fundamentals concept of design production, as well as the corresponding digital audios and how we do the sampling, okay. So sound, okay, as you all know that something that we can hear, okay, directly through our ears. And again, there are different types of sounds. For example, spoken word that I'm talking about, okay, and the voice, Okay, and all of us have our own voice, and we have the music or even okay the noise. All this belongs to sound, and um, not uh, the music would be the best, to be honest. Again, depends on different situation. Um, we need different type of sounds, okay, to help. Okay, for example, if you want uh, um, certain kind of entertainment, okay, or you want to make yourself relax, maybe we need the music because we have the favorite singer, something like this. But when it comes to the conversation, I'm for sure that the spoken word must be important. You need to make use of the word okay, correctly in order to describe something. Just like I'm for sure that in your group project you may need to incorporate some of this. And again, nowadays quite convenient because we have so many platforms that help us to generate um, uh, the spoken word. Okay, an obvious example would be uh, the Google Translate. Okay, so if you take a look at this one, okay, um, so if we want to learn something, okay, especially the pronunciation of this one, okay, and we just make use of the Google Translate. This one is traditional, okay. So let me see, I can't hear. Okay, sorry, just a moment. Okay. Okay. So this one is typical computer-generated spoken word, and I'm for sure that you may have some other platform that pronounce more um, um, naturally or smoothly. Okay, but anyway, the spoken word is a kind of sound for communication. The voice. So voice is a kind of general term describing the sounds that a human is producing. Okay? Sometimes we may uh, have the now voice, okay, or we may have the silence, okay, or whispering voice. So this is the way that um, uh, we speed, okay, and depends on different situation, and we need to use a different voice. Okay, sometimes say the crying baby, okay, and their voice will be totally different. Uh, some people believe that noise is not welcome, but I don't think so, because if you I'm for sure that many of you uh, came across such kind of the noise because if you go to YouTube, okay, so if you go to YouTube, you may notice that the white noise, okay, say for the beach, okay. So let me find something here. So there are quite a lot of white noise that we can find from okay, we can find from the YouTube. Some people believe that hearing this kind of white noise, and then it can um, make themselves relax, especially when they are uh, focusing on doing something or studying. I don't know whether you experience this, but this kind of white noise somehow can calm down someone. Okay, there are quite a lot of white noise. This one is the white noise for the ozone waves. Okay, so loud. Okay, how about this one? Okay, this one is take a look at this. Okay. And so this is a combination of the music with the noise, okay, the white noise, okay, from the natural environment. And some people believe that this one can help, okay, especially for studying, doing something, or even for relax or maybe meditation, okay. And all this can be uh, uh, the use of noise nowadays. And again, nowadays we are very lucky because we have internet platform with a huge amount of information, no matter text, video, audio, or even noise, sound. Okay, and we can choose whatever we need. Okay, and at least it can give us something. Okay, it may be relevant or irrelevant. So again, speech. Okay, so speech is a kind of the um, formal spoken word or something related to the language. And again, the loudness of the speech or the voice, okay, may be so low, okay, and we call it as whisper. But if you uh, speak loudly, okay, and we may uh, say that you are screaming, something like this. So again, the sound, okay, the effect is really useful. Maybe it can be a kind of the uh, assistant. Okay, the role would be the assistant to help the visual effect. Okay, but sometimes, um, you know, the certain situation that we can't see. Okay, and the sun will dominate. Okay, the entire environment. Okay, as the main effect. You know. So anyway, nowadays, I don't know whether you like massage, okay, or more. So a massage, okay, usually you go to say the Bangkok, okay, Thailand would be one of the popular place for massage, and if you go to the uh, uh, this kind of body health shop, okay, or just the massage center, and then uh, you may smell something, okay, um, really good together with very peaceful music, okay, so that you become more relaxed, okay, with the environment. And again, the sound, okay, especially the music, okay, can have a kind of the uh, 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 function, which is the mood setting, okay, function. But again, if you use it improperly, and it may affect the overall, okay, the effect of your multimedia uh, content. Okay. So again, from the scientific perspective, how the sound can be produced. So sound actually is coming from the vibration of the air particle, okay, in the air. So that if uh, the air particle, okay, vibrate, okay, and moving back and forth, and then actually the sounds, okay, will be transmitted. So an obvious example would be the loudspeaker. So I'm for sure that if you move your ear or face close to some kind of loudspeaker, and you can to a certain extent that you can, apart from hearing the loud voice or sound, and you may also experience your face skin can experience the vibration, okay, of the air, okay. And again, it's a kind of the air pressure generated by the speaker in certain direction. And again, this kind of waves, okay, or you can say sound waves, okay, spread out, okay, in a ripple. Okay, ripple, that means circular shape. Okay, and just like you for a pebble, okay, pebble. So what does that mean? 石仔, okay, a very small stone, okay, and then you just toss it, okay, into a steel pool, okay, and then you can see this kind of ripple, okay. And again, if you look at the picture at the bottom, you may notice that how the speaker generates the sound. is a kind of vibration of the air. So therefore, if you want to have good sound effects, that means this kind of the vibration of the air particle being very strong, and the loudspeaker you buy must be um, uh, relatively expensive. Usually, how we can judge whether the loudspeaker is good or not, one of the method is checking the weight, okay, of the speaker. Okay, the heavier the speaker, which means that the better the materials inside in terms of the copper wire. Okay, because making a speaker, we need the copper wire as well as the magnet. Okay, and say the okay, something very heavy. Okay, the iron. Okay. Um, so if you take a look at the speaker, okay, so the speaker that we are using, and is something like this. Okay, we have the let me find you an example of this. Okay, so we have something in front. Okay, we have the cap. Okay, in front, but at the back. Okay, we have magnet. We have the voice coil. Okay, and this kind of coil together with the magnet, or even the iron teeth inside. Okay, if the manufacturer put quite a lot of materials inside, which means that uh, the magnetic effect, okay, would be much stronger. And then the diaphragm, okay, if you look at the diaphragm, there is a diaphragm, this one. The diaphragm will vibrate strongly, okay, significantly, and then the air particle will vibrate strongly, so that the sound, okay, would be louder, okay, or even the better, you know. Anyway, let's take a look at an interesting effect. I don't know whether you like going out for watching the firework. Sometimes it would be very interesting because if you are lucky, you can stand in front of the firework, just like the people in the photos, that you can watch closely the firework, and then you can hear directly the sound of the firework. And usually, if you stand so closely, there will not be significant difference, okay, when you look at uh, the firework, as well as listening, hearing uh, the sound. Okay, but if you are sitting far away from the okay, from the place here, just like here is the exhibition center in Wan Chai. Okay, if you say it, standing uh, at the ferry pier in North Point, okay, Bắc Cọ Mã Thầu, and then you look at the firework in Wan Chai, and of course you can somehow see the firework, but after you see a firework, you need to wait for a couple of seconds before you can hear the explosion of those fireworks. You know, so how come we have such delay? An obvious example would be the thunderstorm. Okay, the thundering, 闪电. Usually, we always see the thundering first, and then after a while, we hear okay the sound, you know. So the reason is that the speed of the light, okay, travel very fast, whereas the speed of the sound is quite slow. Okay, if you compare the speed of both um, transmission media, I mean light, okay, as well as the sound, and the light is much faster. That's why we have this kind of delay happens, okay, when we are looking at something far away together with hearing the sound, okay, there will be difference. But it doesn't matter because if we are doing the multimedia content, that means the audience they sit in front of the screen or in the movie theater or in front of the TV, okay, and the sound speaker, I mean the speaker as well as the screen are so close, and there would not be such difference, okay, in the transmission and no delay at all. Okay, therefore, there's something just for to share with you. And again, we need to learn something about the structure of the sound. Again, the structure of the sound actually is a kind of waveforms and it's a kind of periodic wave. And again, if you play music or if you love singing, maybe you are the member of the choir, and then you must know, okay, what is uh, high pitch or low pitch, 高音低音. And again, there is a matter of the frequency of the sound. Okay, that means the frequency. If you look at the notes there, we use the term hertz. Okay, hertz means number of cycles per second. Okay, the higher the number of cycle per second, that means higher, uh, greater number of hertz and result, having the higher frequency and higher pitch. But if the frequency is very low, that means low frequency. Okay, um, uh, 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 a few cycles of the sound wave in a second, and therefore the corresponding pitch of it would be very low. So therefore, um, it really depends on the frequency the sound is, and again the period of the sound, okay, is based on the instrument or the voice of the singer, whether they can produce. Okay, some instrument can produce uh, high pitch, okay, high frequency sound, whereas some big musical instrument that they focus on low frequencies music, you know. So again, if the frequency is too fast, and then we will use another unit we call kilohertz. Kilohertz. And kilohertz is much faster because kilo means 1,000. Suppose we have 2 kilohertz, that means 2,000 hertz. So this is a very typical uh, mathematics. So take a look at different musical instruments. You may notice that a piano, okay, when you press any key and the sound of the key, okay, is produced, but the sound volume will drop quickly, okay, and then become silent. How about the pan flute? Okay, pan flute. Okay, so what is this? Maybe we can take a look at the photo. Okay, so this one is the pan fruit. So again, it look like traditional fruit. Okay, in China. Okay, in China we have the one pie. Okay, as the fruit, but this kind of pan fruit use a couple of pies, like bamboo pies of different length. And again, the sound would be quite different based on the diagram, you know. And how about the snare drum? So the snare drum, as we all know, that drum, okay, is a kind of device or instrument that produces the sound, but doesn't take, it doesn't last too long, you know. Maybe we can take a look at the snare drum. Okay? So this one is this snare drum, okay, and it always appear in some marching, okay, 晨游, or sometimes you may see this, okay, in the music room of your school in, I mean, the secondary school, because this one is quite typical. Again, we have quite a lot of different instruments. Okay, if you use the digital uh, microphone or use your, your mobile phone to do the recording, and you may detect this kind of uh, graph, okay, sound wave graph, and just for information again, I'm not too sure whether you know about uh, the voice. Okay, so let's take a look at the examples of the use of voice nowadays. One obvious example of the voice is this one. Okay, voice authentication. Okay, maybe we can take a look at this one. Okay, so this one, I think this one would be quite interesting. So let me see if this one is okay. Okay, maybe this one first. Okay, this one would be more official. Okay, so you may notice that nowadays the use of voice is not just for entertainment. It's not just for producing better music, and again, it can be used, okay, as a kind of authentication. So therefore, there are different application of our traditional um, uh, media content. But again, we have to get back to the fundamentals concept by means of the calculation. Here comes a formula relating the frequency, that means the number of cycles, together with the wavelength. So what does that mean? Wavelength is, okay, the time taken, okay, for a cycle, okay, or we may say this one lambda means the wavelength of the wave. And what is this? If you take a look at um, one cycle, so one cycle means we include, okay, the shape, okay, like the peak together with the shape like the valley. Okay, this, okay, up and down we call a cycle. So if we have the low frequency, that means in 1 second. So again, the frequency here, the hertz there, okay, that means per second, per second. For each second, how many cycles that we can generate, we call frequency. And again, the V there means the rate, okay, at which, okay, the sound is measured. And again, if you ask me about the loudest, okay, we are talking about the amplitude. Amplitude. So therefore, frequency, amplitude, wave length, lambda is really important for you to know before you start with the calculation. So again, the wavelength there usually in terms of the time taken. Maybe I have the, suppose I have the wavelength, okay, wavelength, okay, equals to sec. Okay, that means, okay, one cycle of wave, okay, takes 2 seconds to complete. Okay, so that's the meaning of the wavelength lambda. How about the frequency? Okay, so the frequency means the number of cycle, okay, per second. So if you take a look at uh, the examples over there, 2 seconds, okay, for one cycle, that means, okay, half. Okay, how about 1 second? Okay, for each second, okay, we can only complete with 0.5 cycle. Okay, and that's 0.5 hertz. Okay, so that's the meaning, you know, for the frequency, the wavelength there. Okay, again, usually the f, okay, and the corresponding wavelength, okay, can be calculated using this formula. So sometimes it depends on whether we have the additional velocity over there. Okay, otherwise, we may simply consider f equals 1 divided by the wavelength. Okay, so let's move on. So here comes the calculation for you now. Okay, so a certain sound travel in the air has the wavelength of this one. Okay? 3229 nanoseconds. So what does that mean? Okay. You may ask about how come the example there using meter as the wavelength. I think it really depends on the velocity, whether the velocity is using the meter per second or not. Okay, but anyway, let's take a look at the wavelength here. Okay, wavelength equals 322 nanometers. So what does that mean? This one means 10 to the power minus 9 meter. Okay, so that's the meaning of line. Okay, okay. And of course, we have quite a lot of dimension there apart from uh, the nano. Okay, so usually the letter would be n, and we have micro. Okay, micro means 10 to the power minus 6, and we use a symbol very similar to U. Okay, but the beginning, the writing will be a very long straight line. Okay, so let's take a look at the symbol directly. Because my notepad is unable to show me the micro. So this is what I'm talking about, a letter U, but the in the beginning of the writing, okay, we have a long straight line like this. Okay. So therefore, let's take a look. We just look at the information given, and then we put the value into the formula and find the answer. Okay, so we have V equals 320 nanometer per second. We have the wavelength equals 322 nanometer. So this one is not line, it's a meter only. So we have the F equals V divided by, okay, the lambda. Okay, so let me see if I can find lambda. So we have the lambda there, and then if we rearrange we don't need to rearrange because this one will allow us to put the number there, substitute a number there, and find the result. And then we have the f equals 322 times 10 to the power minus line divided by the lambda 322. Sorry, this one should be 320. 32. Okay, divided by this one, and then of course the answer would be hers. So we have just put the number inside, and then let me see if I can find correctly. 320 divided by 322, and then we have the result. Okay, 0.994 times 10 to the power 10. Right? So this is the way that we can remember to add the unit, otherwise your mark will be deducted. So sorry, this one should be this one. And remember to add the unit, okay, at the end of the calculation, so that we know that you're calculating something correctly. Okay, so let's move on. So we have the exercise 2, 3, and 4 for you. Okay, so maybe I'll give you 10 minutes. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at the calculation. And I hope you can manage doing the exercise yourself. And okay, let me see if I can. Okay, I can do this. Okay, and just a moment. So we have this one, and we have the calculation like this. So a certain sound wave traveling in the air has a wavelength of the 200 nanometer when the velocity of sound is this one, okay? And this one is exercise 1A, okay? So again, we make use of the, okay, the, okay, F equals V divided by the wavelength. And then this one equals 333 divided by 200 times 10 to the power minus 9. Okay, let me do the calculation. Okay, and then we have this one. So this the answer for the for the first questions. Okay. So let me copy this one to the chat box. Okay, for you to have a look. And let's move on to the second one, 1B. So this one is almost the same, except the value has changed. And we have 333 divided by 300 minus the line. And then we have the answer here. Okay. So this the second part of the questions. And then let's move on to this one, 1C. So if you take a look at 1C, there is a little bit difference. So exercise 1C. And then we have the frequency 1.32 times 10 to the power line equals 333, okay, divided by W times 10 to the minus line. So if we rearrange a little bit, okay, and it would be the 333 divided by 1.32. So this one is 2252. and the wavelength, okay, equals W nanometer, which is W 252 times 10 to the power minus 9 meter. So that's the okay, the answer for exercise 1C. So okay. So I think that is quite obvious, and let's move on. So again, if we are talking about the frequency and the time taken, okay, to finish a cycle, we always use this formula. So therefore, you must be careful about the questions, whether questions provide you um, the speed, okay, the velocity of the sound together with the wavelength in meter, okay, and this formula focuses on the frequency and the relationship of the time taken for one cycle. So if you are finding the time taken for one cycle, that means capital letter T. But if you are finding how many cycles a second, you are finding the F. You know. So let's move on to take a look at this one. So here comes the second example that you need to learn. The time for a certain wave to complete a single oscillation is 0.32 seconds. Okay, single oscillation, which means band for 來回啊，一來一回。Okay, 一來一回. Okay, and field 0.32. What is the frequency of this wave? And we can simply use the equation f equals 1 divided by t, and then substitute t with 0.32. And then we have the frequency 3.125 hertz. It's not that fast, but just let you practice a little bit. So here comes another questions, okay? And can you do me a favor trying this question 2A, 2B, and 2C to get familiarized with uh, the the formula, okay? So this one, okay, okay, another 10 minutes first. So the calculation examples would be there for your reference. Okay, let's take a look at question 2A. Okay, and the question there is relatively easy. Okay, and so suppose we have the 15 oscillation. Okay, so which means that we have 0.57 seconds. Okay, which means one oscillation, okay, would be equals to 0.57 divided by 15. Okay, this one is second. Okay, and then so frequency equals 1 time time, and this one hertz. Okay, and the answer would be, let me double check. Okay, so let's move on. The second questions. So this one is more or less the same. Okay, so according to the first questions, so one oscillation equals 0.67 divided by 20 second, and then the frequency would be 1 divided by time. Okay, and then this one would be 20 line hertz. Okay, so this one is 20 line, okay, or you may say the 30, okay? Something like this. And let me see 2C there. So this one is a little bit different because we need to find the W, okay, which is oscillation. So that means okay, this one equals 1 divided by 0.38 divided by W. Okay, and then we have W equals 33 times 0. This one, and we have this one. So that's the answer for the three questions again. Okay, so let me put it here so that you can easily see the answer. So we have tried the calculation again, and it's not that difficult. So if we want to measure the loudness, okay, of the sound, okay, or we may say the design pressure level, and we need to use another unit because we call it as decibels, okay, dB. So actually, the decibel is a measurement of actually the ratio between, okay, choosing reference point on a logarithmic scale. Okay, and for example, if we try to, okay, multiply, okay, the sound power, okay, by 4 times, okay, and then the dB, okay, would be increased by 6, okay, and if you increase the loudness of the sound by 100 times, and then the dB, okay, is not 100 Pro. That means not 100 times, but 20 dB because we use logarithm. Okay, so logarithm actually try to uh, scale down the the value so that even though we try to increase a lot, but the corresponding value at the end of the logarithm will be small. So let's take a look at the logarithmic scale. And you may notice that the scale would be like this. And it try to turn a curve into a straight line. Um, Maybe we can take a look at the graph. Okay. So if you go to there and see the relationship, and you may notice that so this the graph for log, you know. So even though we try to increase x, okay, so the horizontal axis, okay, is the x-axis which is x, okay, and if you try to increase the loudness of the sound a lot, but at the end of using log, okay, and then the value there become, you know, okay, becomes a small amount of increase, okay, because of the curve equation like this. But anyway, this the way that we can try to make the value increase slowly. Okay, so take a look at the decibel scale there. Um, Originally, we use watts, okay, W-A-T-T-S, as the way to represent the loudness of the sound. But at the end of using dB, and then we uh, make the scale, okay, look like linear um, line graph, you know. And take a look. So if we have the hammer, okay, so what would be the power and dB, okay? So we have the large chipping hammer, okay, 1 watts, okay, and the corresponding dB would be 120. If you ask whether it's loud or silent, I'm for sure that it's very loud, because if you look at um, the conversation, just like I'm speaking now, and the voice would be around 70 dB, okay, 70 dB, and the corresponding power would be 0.00001. So how about whisper? Sometimes you may talk to your friends and classmates, okay, with low voice, and we call it as whisper, and this just 30 dB, you know. So therefore, this scale can let us know the corresponding loudness. And again, in Hong Kong, okay, so normal sound, okay, loudness, okay, in dB, okay, and you may notice that for quiet environment, okay, usually it's 40 to 50, okay, and for jet plane, okay, 噴射機, and the corresponding sound emission will be 140. So you may notice that that's the way that we know, okay, using existing example around us, okay, to know the corresponding value, the meaning. So here comes the examples of very loud noise. And again, if we want to understand more about the sound level, maybe we can take a look at this formula. So this formula we have the threshold of hearing. So what does that mean? The threshold of hearing, that means um, the usual, okay, or the minimum, okay, sound level that we can hear. Okay, is the value, the intensity, the sound level would be 10 to the power minus 12, okay, watt per meter square. This one is the threshold. Okay, intensity. Okay, this one I means intensity is 0. So once we know that this is the threshold hearing, the lowest possible sound that we can hear. Okay, and then let's take a look at this formula. So in order to understand more about the intensity level of the sound in dB, we must use this basic value, the threshold, okay, at the basis, so that you divide the existing intensity by the threshold, taking the log times 10, and then we can come up with the dB beta. Maybe we can take a look at the examples there. So let me put it right here, and it would be easier for you to know the examples. So this one is the example. Okay, the intensity of sound in a classroom. Okay, when no one is speaking is this one. Okay, so this one is not the threshold. Okay, but some typical sound intensity in a classroom, and we have the threshold over there, and the intensity beta, how we can calculate. So we have to know that I equals this and I0 equals this, and then we put together so that we have the result of the division 10 to the power 5, and then we take the log, multiply by 10, and we have 50 dB. So if you ask whether it is or it's allowed or not, okay, I think this one is the typical knowledge, and so maybe I let you experience a little bit with this calculation. Okay, so this one would be, and we have one more there. Okay, this one is also an example of calculating the reverse. You know, okay. Given we have given dB, and then how you can come up with the intensity I. Okay. So suppose this one is 100. Okay, 100 dB given. You put it on the left hand side, and we have the threshold 10 to the power minus 12 at the bottom, and then we have the intensity over there. You need to find out. So I think we can. Okay, I give you more time to try first. Okay, and then we will proceed to slide. Okay, we will proceed to this part. Okay, so let you try this first. So I copy the questions, the answers to the questions there. Okay. So is there any questions? 有問題？係我見到同學仔打字啊，有冇問題啊，同學？So is there any questions？有冇咩問題？So any questions？ OK，咁試一試做一做先。咁我哋就試一試幾條先，睇一睇嗰個。咁我試一試幾條先，係啦。咁有 example 咧，俾同學仔去睇一睇翻。OK，咁你可以去望一望啲 examples 啦，咁睇下點去計。Okay, so let's have a 15 minutes break. Okay, and then they will come back for the rest of the slide as well as uh, taking a look at the tutorial exercise that you need to do. Okay, and for today, the tutorial would be the last exercise for the image processing, photo retouch. Okay, let's take a look at the answer there. And for this one, so I try to use the Excel, okay, so that it would be easier to calculate the exercise, okay. So exercise 3A, and we have the threshold, okay, which is the tens to the power minus 12, okay. So there's the so let me see, okay, this one, okay, and then we have, okay, this one is I0, I0. And then we have the intensity I. Okay, the intensity I is 5 equals 5 times 10 to the power minus 5. And the unit, okay, is this one, okay, W divided by this. So in order to calculate the intensity level beta, okay, in dB, so we simply use the log equals 10 times the log, and then this one divided by this, okay. So the answer is 76.9, okay, or you may say 77 dB. Okay. So that's the answer for the first questions. And how about the exercise 3B? 3B there we have the threshold like this, equals 5 times 10 to the power minus 12. And then we have the SARM, okay. equals 6 times 10 to the power minus 5. And again, we use this formula, okay? 10 times log, okay, to the ratio of the two sound level, and then we have the answer. So that's the answer for 3B, and we have 3C. So now we need to find the intensity of, to find this one, and okay, the threshold is the same as 3A, which is this one, and then we have the 80 there. Okay, so we need to reverse the calculation a little bit. That means we need to look at this formula and reverse. So if you use certain mathematics, that means I equals 10 to the power beta, tens to the power beta divided by 10, and then the entire number will be divided by, okay, and then multiply by I0. Okay, so this is the formula that can help us calculate the answer. So therefore, we need to use 10 to the power, okay, this one divided by 10, and then we multiply this with this one, okay, and we get the answer there, this one, okay. So, or you may say this one is ten times 10 to the power minus 4. Okay, so this is the answer for 3C, you know. Okay, so there's the answer. So let's take a look at question 4, 4A. So this one seems to be the same as 3C, okay? Just find the corresponding I. So let's take a look at this one. So this one is 4A, 4A, okay, and we have the threshold. And then we have 100 there. So therefore we can use this formula again, okay, equals 10 to the power, this one divided by 10 times this one, and then we have this one. So let me try again. Okay, this one 10 to the power minus 10. So let me double check this one first. Oh, I see. So if you take a look at this one, okay, the answer is just one. Okay, one. Okay, and let's move on to exercise 4B. So we have the power intensity 120 dB, and then threshold is this one, okay, which is the same as this. And we have the 120 there, and then we just copy the formula there, and the answer would be 100. Okay, 100. Okay, so how about the last one for C? So we have this one again, and then we have the 1.2 like this here. So that means we need to calculate this. Okay, we may use this formula. Okay, so the answer there would be 101. Is it okay? So for question, so this is the answer. Okay, and this one is the answer. And answer here. Again, the answer is this one. So these are the answer for 6 exercise. Okay, maybe I can share this with you. Okay, and you can take a look. So I think I will talk about this next time. Okay, and some students asked me about the assignment. Okay, I would like to talk about this a little bit. Okay, and if you ask about the assignment, so let me talk about this. So some students asked me about the not the multiple choice or not the true false, but I would like to remind you is that for the coming midterm test, the multiple choice would be something in this format. Okay, so make sure that you try out the multiple choice and see if you can find the answer from the notes. And for the choose for questions, and it's almost the same in the format. Okay, and in your coming midterm test, and there will be instructions like this together with uh, the questions or the layout like this. So make sure that um, you know how to handle with these kind of questions. But the problem is some students ask me about this part. Okay, question one. So for the first part, it's obviously simple because it's the same as your in-class exercise, and I don't think that you have any problem at all. And some students ask me about this part. Okay, so if you want to answer this type of questions, and you need to base on to use to use the resolution there and compare with the uh, the specification of this type of monitor and see if they can support the resolution. Okay, and again, uh, sometimes this kind of the CRT monitor resolution is too low, so therefore you may need to um, show me some calculation, okay, adjusting this one, or you adjust some of the value, okay, especially for the compression ratio, so that it can be uh, okay, it can be okay, it can be displayed in your okay. This in this question it asks about showing the image with proper resolution in your phone, and I'm not too sure the resolution of your phone you are using, but you need to check for me, and then telling me uh, your model in terms of the resolution, so that you can explain to me whether this resolution can be adjusted in terms of adjusting the compression ratio, the increase or decrease, etc., etc. Okay, and again, if you need to answer this one, okay, you need to check the resolution against the value that you calculate. So another questions that student asked me about is this one. So these questions require you to take a photo of the campus building with yourself, selfie, so that it means it's your original work, and then you paste your photos right here together with the resolution of the photos. Okay, of course, when you paste your photos right here, maybe you need to resize a little bit, making it smaller, but you need to check your phone file size, original file size, and original uh, uh, resolution. Okay, so when you put your photos in as your answer here, and the resolution will be lower, otherwise the photo will make your files very big. And again, for the example photo there, we have the compression ratio R1 that you need to calculate, and then you also need to calculate your own phone photo R2 and compare which one is better. Okay, so I think different students may have different results. Some students may have the R1 better than R2, okay, or maybe some student mobile phone is really powerful that the compression ratio R2 is better than R1. So it's really based on your phone performance. And then if your phone compression ratio is not that high compared with the R1 at the top, and then you need to tell me how you can modify the phone settings, etc., etc., in order to improve your phone R2, so that it becomes it may not the same as R1, but it can improve further so that it can be close to R1. So you need to state what you need to do. I think it would be really challenging because you need to go to the campus. Okay, take a photo first, and then you need to check your phone. I think most of the people, including me, uh, do not check the resolution or the file size or even the compression ratio when we use the phone to take photo. And this time it would be good for you to check the specification, how powerful your phone is, something like this, and put it as part of your answer. So that's something I want to explain to you. And this part, okay, the last questions, I think if you stick to the Pixlr platform, and I'm for sure that you can make this photo, because use Pixlr to do this as well. And some students told me that it's really complicated. I don't think so. If you complete multi-tutorial exercise um, in practicing the skill of image processing, photo retouching, and I'm for sure that you are able to make this immediately. I remember some students uh, when they uh, try this questions, okay, attempt these questions, and they're able to show me exactly the same event of the photo. Okay, so it's not that difficult. Most of the students can get full mark. Okay, and if you do not want these tools, okay, you can choose some other tools. Okay, and I just want to see the result like this. Okay, and remember to submit your work, okay, before the due date, and the due date is here, 16th of March. And if you have further questions, you can contact me by email or WhatsApp, and I'll get back to you very soon. So let's take a look at the tutorial exercise for today. And this is the last part for the image processing, and is what we call the photo retouching. I hope you enjoyed doing the exercise as well, because um, when you try all this exercise or follow the step there, actually you are learning the skill, and the skill would be really useful for um, okay in the future. Okay, and let me see what it is. So let's take a look at the tutorial exercise 2. I mean the second part for the photo retouching. And okay, let me show you here. So as I mentioned to you, masking technique is really important nowadays in digital image processing or photo retouching. And if you remember last time, I asked you to do the exercise mixing the, the day and night uh, photos together so that you have a very interesting effect. Okay, and this time you need to make use of the sample photo that I prepared for you here. Okay, take a look. So if you look at the photos, okay, we have the grass, and the grass there will overlap with some tasks, okay, such that you do the what we call the clipping mask. Just follow the step. Okay, it's quite easy. Put together two layers of the elements, okay, the grass as well as the hello text, and the font is up to you, okay. And then you follow the step there, okay, and then you can come up with this effect, okay, and the effect is this one. So this one is really useful for your assignment one, and when you know this, and I'm for sure that you know how to make the question-free answer directly. And then you need to try again, okay, with this hamburger, and this one together with the words and burger, and is another practice for you, so that you know the sort of skill. Okay, and the other part is what we call the focus, okay, and bokeh. So what is this? If you take a look at this one, so it's not that difficult, and it's just a couple of mouse click, because nowadays the photo editing platform has provided quite a lot of effect function that. Oh, I see this one, and I think let me see. So I forgot the font, to be honest. This one. So this one You are right. Okay, I need to check, but I think so. Some student asked me about the fonts there. Okay, and maybe I give you a certain flexibility. Okay, okay, it's flexible to choose. Okay, okay, maybe you just choose one the similar fonts. Okay, so my focus is whether you can do this kind of the inverted color. So the emphasis is not on the font, and if you can pick up some similar type of font, and it's okay. Um, okay, and as long as you can produce this kind of inverted color effect, okay, for each of the digit, and then you will get full mark. Okay, so okay, let's move on. Okay, this effect is just simple mouse click, and then you can follow the step there, make use of the special features buttons there. Okay, this one seems to be a special button exclusive to online. In Photoshop we don't have this at all. And then you adjust the level of blur, and then you can get this special effect, and it's quite interesting. Okay, if you are doing some kind of poster or uh, uh, magazine cover. And this one is the other approach using the horizontal line, because this part we use the circular effect, okay? And this one using the horizontal effect, and we have this interesting result. And I think this one is really common nowadays. People may add this kind of blur filter on the video in order to make some sensitive information. Uh, it's a kind of the privacy issue nowadays. Like in video, we always blur somewhere. So this one is another photos that I want you to apply the effect, but you need to adjust the angle of the area, so that, because the jet fighter uh, lean a little bit today, and therefore you need to adjust the angle so that uh, the area should be parallel to the jet fighter. You know. So this one is rather impressive, because in the past we don't have mobile phone, we don't have the 美图秀秀, we don't have this kind of the beauty making the image software mobile app. And if we want to make some photo more beautiful, we need to learn this skill. So in this tutorial exercise, you will try to follow the instruction in order to make this lady face more beautiful, colorful, and even though we have so many mobile app that can do similar effect, okay, but you can experience how Photoshop can adjust the different parts of the face, for example, the nose, the lips, the eyes, okay, so that it becomes another one. Okay, and you can see this one try to darken the skin, and okay, this one try to make the, okay, so this part is just simple. Okay, so for okay, and for the man there, okay, you need to adjust the skin a little bit. Anyway, for this part, I just let you try a little bit about darkening the skin, but actually there's another features inside the tools we call the uh, beautify. Okay, beautify, which is the features that focus on the making somewhere of our face smaller, making somewhere of our face bigger, something like this, or even uh, we move some part of our our skin, okay, like the scar, etc. Okay. But anyways, you can experience a little bit first here, okay, and then you can explore more, okay, with the function in the menu, okay. So I think that's all for today, and the tutorial exercise just leave it to you to do slowly over the weekend, and then you can submit me before, okay, the due day next week, okay. So and again, this is the last exercise for image processing. And next time, we will focus on the sound. Okay, the sound. Okay, any questions? No one type. Okay, and I will see you again face to face. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can email me or WhatsApp me directly. Okay. So bye bye. Bye.